Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. This is the Club Racing UK Interclub Series, the Championship rounds number 5 and 6 here at mighty Silverstone. My name is Chris Buxton and I'll be your commentator throughout this evening's race. There is the wonderful beast that has been chosen for this evening, and looks like someone getting very squiggly with it already. Unfortunately, a few less drivers this week than last. A few people a little bit unwell or otherwise prior engaged. We have 9 drivers with us at present, and as you can see, it's the BMW the Group A BMW. This is the I think it's the 320. This is going to be interesting. It's not the easiest car in the world to control. So this is going to be great fun for our drivers. Those with us in chat, do make yourselves known. Do let me know if you are seeing everything bright and breezy and clear, as I have had a few technical issues this evening. Do let me know if everything is coming through all right. Let's see who we've got with us this eve. We have got Ollie Zai. He's opted for the black liveried car. There's David Garside. Now expect a lot of that tail wagging going on as he slams it into the wall. Damage, I believe, is off for this series anyway, and probably a good thing too for Mr. Garside, as he has bounced that one into the wall. Crispin Williamson joins us once again, and look at how he is able to graciously slide that car around, and that really is the best way to get anything out of this particular vehicle. It's like I say, it's a lively thing to keep under your right foot. Black Sheep is, oh no, I've forgotten. Oh no, I'm gonna be hung for that. I think that is Toby Owens. Ah, goodness me. I had I've done it again. I had the list of who was who last time out, and I've stupidly forgotten to have that list nearby. So I can locate that as I'm going. Oh, here we are. Yes, I should have had that to start with. I was indeed right. That's Toby Owen. Not a bad guess. Now, Scuzzle, I believe, is Mr. Bailey. Is Nick Bailey? Yes, it is. I had remembered. All the grey cells haven't failed me yet. So, Nick Bailey, he's gone for the number 15 car. He's just come around to complete a lap. Jay Daniels, he's on for the white and cyan blue. He's coming down to Vale. Should start to see some qualifying laps come on the board pretty soon. Scott Thorne also joins us in the white car with the German flag flash on it. Welcome to you. Fishwick, that's Colin Dunn. Which livery is he gone for? It's also the white and cyan one, so we've got 2 cars with similar. Well, it's a similar livery to the. Oops, that's someone facing the wrong way. Is that Mark? No, it wasn't Mark. No, it's not Mark at all. He's gone for the grey and red flashed, or red accented car. Is Mr. Mark Holmes. Okay. So Crispin seems to be, well, it's not seems to be, he is very much our championship leader. This is our 3rd pair of rounds. Our opening rounds saw our competitors in the McGann touring car at Donington Park. He makes it look so easy, doesn't he? Let's go in the cockpit view of Mr. Williamson. He makes it look so effortless. Absolutely incredible. So Donington Park, we saw the Renault Megans, and then last week we saw the Formula Fords, or Formula Rookies as they're referred to in this game, at Brands Hatch Indy. Now we are taking on the full Silverstone track in these wonderful BMW Group A cars. Now the tail, they do have the ring on the back. In my opinion, it's rather of a show because the tail loves to get very, very lively. Crispin trying to force this thing to slide as we have 10 minutes remaining of qualifying. We have the first qualifying time on the board of 2:19.2 from Crispin. And I can't stress it. Crispin's making it look simple. It really is not to slide it like that. As Colin has got his time on the ball with the 2:23.111. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see quite a big gap. Ooh, as he's kicked up a bit of dust on the outside. I wouldn't be at all surprised if we do see a bit of a gap in between the times. Sometimes you see. Okay, I wasn't expecting a 20-second gap. That'll be who we saw facing the wrong way. That would be Toby Owens. That'll be why he's had. Oh dear! It looks like Nick Bailey's not had such a good run either, as he's come through the first few turns. Oh dear! And neither has Scott Thorne. So really, Crispin Williamson is. Hello, Mr. Goldsmith. Thank you for joining us. Isn't it just? Isn't it just? Whilst you're there, Alex, if you could just confirm to me that the stream looks and sounds glorious. I've had a few technical problems this side, so if you could just, if I could guinea pig you for a moment, and can you just confirm that everything looks well from your side, I would be forever appreciative. The fact that you've identified the car tells me that the stream is at least working, unless you're able to identify it by its engine tone, which I would be rather surprised if you could. But in this day and age, nothing is impossible. That occasional pause there is just me flicking between windows. That's nothing immediately to worry about. There's David Garside at the tail end of the field, the 2:53, not a particularly representative lap at the moment. Jay Daniels has got a time on the board with the 2:21.941. Slides it through. And the thing is, it looks... Thank you very much, Alex. Thank you for confirming. Thank you for confirming that. Now, the way you just saw Jay just sliding that through Woodcote. Now, having driven these things in this game, it looks very well controlled. It is very well controlled, in fairness, but it really doesn't take too much for that, smooth, lovely control. As Crispin Williamson has gone quicker again with the 2:18.7. It really doesn't take much to go too far, and the tail's just gone right round. Hello, Gary Cooper. Yes, it's a shame that you couldn't join us. We do hope that your recovery is going well, sir. I did catch up with the messages before coming onto the stream. So we hope you are recovering well. So again, the pressure on Crispin Williamson to continue his winning ways. He's run all but one race so far on the PC side. There's Colin Dunn in second position now, 2:28.94. A couple of seconds off the top. Very close, half a second. Oh dear! That's not on his side. Unfortunately, I haven't got used to who's in which car yet. Who was that went for a... Oh, it was Nick Bailey! Nick Bailey just absolutely bins that one. Coming through, that's the beginning of the lap. It's Abbey. Oh dear, oh dear. We have. I was just wondering where Mr. McDonald was, and there he is. Stephen McDonald joins us. Welcome to you. That is also very true. They can learn a thing or two from Petter Solberg. Oh, isn't that the case, Alex? Very, very true indeed. So just under 6 minutes remaining of our qualifying session. Stephen's got it all to do. He's a late joiner to the session, but here he is. Oh, he's gone for the very traditional. I say that this is always the livery I expect with these type of BMWs. It even says original BMW on the back. Is that two-tone blue with the red stripe? Oh wow, yeah, you can see how much Stephen's struggling. Oh, that's cone death. Well, bollard death going on at Aintree. Thank you, Danny Grist, for confirming the stream looks good. Very much appreciated. And Crispin Williamson has gone quicker again. Ooh, that's one way to end your lap, I suppose. He's decided to park that one on the outside, well, on the inside rather, of Abbey Curve. Colin Dunn coming over the line. He improves, but remains in second position with a 2:19.553, which is still a good lap. Just Crispin has that extra ability to squeeze the seemingly impossible. And again, look at the amount of opposite lot going on from Colin's car and just throws the tail. Absolutely launches the car into Villis. Nicely done. It's following through his lap then as Crispin has returned to the pit. He has time to continue, but he has opted to return to the pit. Give everyone else a chance, bless him, as we're still waiting for a time from Ollie Sy and Stephen McDonald. Fishwick. I knew I'd do that at some point. Down Wellington straight into Brooklands. What can Colin do here? That apex is so hard in these cars because they don't grip in the same way that a single-seater will. It's very difficult to catch that apex at the right time through Luffield, where I had the great pleasure of watching the 2018 festivities at Silverstone in the boiling hot heat wave we had that year. Yeah, wasn't a fan of that, but loved seeing the Grand Prix and the Grand Prix Masters actually over at Luffield. Out of Cops, still sliding away. Colin Dunn getting that tail wagging absolutely everywhere. Into Maggots and Beckett's. This section is terrifying in a car that doesn't want to stick. And again, nicely done. Even just about kept that one legal. There was one wheel still on the black stuff. Very nicely done from the Welsh Sports and Saloon representative of Colin Dunn. Down Hanger straight over to his left, our right hand side for Stowe. This is glorious when you've got a sliding car and you just get that one right. The car looked reluctant to get into a slide on that occasion. Down towards Vale. Oh, and the car wanted to pitch the wrong way as he came onto the brakes. The car wanted to pitch over to the right. He's caught that one and again gets a bootful on the way out. Crispin Williamson's come back on track. Does Colin Dunn improve? Answer is he did not. That was no improvement on his time. Jay Daniels in third position for the 750 MC Clear 182 squad. He's being chased by, is that Ollie Sy behind him? It is. So I'm beginning to get used to who's in what car. He says, I couldn't tell you who the next couple are. Oh, I think that one at the back is Crispin. Yes, it is. Ollie has yet to get a time on the board and he's chasing Jay Daniels as we come through Stowe. We again getting the cockpit cam for the interface is in the way, so you can't really see the steering wheel too much. Oh, Ollie's a bit nervous in this car. Ollie's tends to keep his best performances to the race. That's going to be too wide. Yeah. Did he keep it legal? No, I didn't think he did. He would have invalidated that one, and he would have invalidated the lap that he is now on, so he will not set a qualifying time. Where is Stephen McDonald? There he is, down Hanger straight towards Stowe. What can he do? Oh, there was a new time set by Scott Thorne there. Puts him in 6th position, 2:25.045. I was mentioning earlier, I'm not surprised we're seeing quite a wide spread of times. I mean, no disrespect to our drivers here. As a reminder, these are all real-life club racing individuals representing various clubs from around the UK. As you can see in the, for instance, Scott Thorne representing Club Sport Trophy Club. Oh, that's not how you take Aintree. That is not how you take Aintree at all. Now, who hadn't set a time? That is Toby Owen. Who was the other one who hadn't set a time? It was Mr. McDonald, wasn't it? Yes. He's got a 2:25.8 on the board because he's had less time out on track than everybody else has. Oh, gently. No, that's exactly what I mean. It really doesn't take much to go from beautiful controlled slide and flash of the lights in fear of frustration as well. And Jay Daniels has jumped back to the pit. He will not improve from 2:21.3. Well, he's still going. Hanging on without the time on the board. And he's being chased by Crispin Williamson. And you go, Crispin's just got that lovely touch to be able to get the slide really, really well. Oh, the one behind him has no, that's off. Who was that? That's was it? No, it wasn't Nick Bailey. It was. We'll find him in a minute. Oh, it was Mark Holmes that's gone off into the wall. He's done a Kimi Räikkönen. He's are back on the track, but he will not be improving. Toby Owens back in the pits, 2:22.109. He improved, and here Mark Holmes is back in the pits as well. There is Crispin Williamson chasing Toby Owens. Oh, that's where Toby's been struggling. It's here, coming through Club. Can he get it? Yep, he's kept it legal this time. Crispin's chasing him home, and that was 6th in 2:23.9 from Ollie Sy. And there was no further improvement from Mr. Williamson. Oh, Scott Thorne thrown it at the wall. No. Well, the line's there, sir, so you haven't done yourself any favours. But remains in 7th with a 2:25.045. Only 8 tenths behind is Stephen McDonald. No. He's tried to get that. He's kept his foot in it, and he's still spinning. That's over at Stowe. And that's another dead car. That's Nick Bailey's binned it as well. That's Mr. Garside. David Garside is, I think he's under AI control because that looks very, very pedestrian. And that is going to form our grid for the first race. Crispin Williamson once again at the top of the tree by 2 seconds over Mr. Fishwick himself, Colin Dunn. It's a shame that we are missing a few tonight. Matt Rivet is not with us, so no representation from the Browns Heritage Formula Ford 1600 Club. Gary Cooper, who's thankfully joined us in chat, is sadly unwell, so the MSVT Track Day Trophy not being represented there. Scott Thorne is with us. Matt Charrington is sadly absent from the 750 MC Club Enduro. God, he's really struggling with this car. Or he's just having a great deal of fun sliding it around. So those are the names that I'm missing that I am aware of. And that is qualifying done. So Crispin Williamson and Colin Dunn take the front row. Then there's Jay Daniels. And my memory is horrific. I've forgotten who Black Sheep is again. I've completely forgotten. Then Mark Holmes, Ollie Sy, Scott Thorne, Stephen McDonald, Nick Bailey, and David Garside as Toby Owen. Why do I keep forgetting who Black Sheep is? It hasn't changed. And all 10 drivers have made it to the grid. Jolly good. Now, in this series, all the setups are locked to the defaults. So there's not really anything they can change. There's 2 default setups they can use, referred to as loose or stable. There are subtle differences between them, suspension toe-in, and minor things like that, but not anything that would be groundbreaking. It's one, I think originally it was aimed at the difference between people driving on a wheel and people driving on a control pad. But there's not really a drastic difference. Someone running on one setup can easily keep up and compete with those on the other. So there's not going to be any kind of real groundbreaking difference between them. Looks like David Garside's car is bouncing quite well on board with it. But whatever he's listening to, he's really enjoying it. No such bouncing going on for Crispin Williamson. Now this is going to be interesting how well these guys take turn 1. It looks very cloudy. Tyre temperature could be a bit of a thing. And with how much these things slide around, that is going to be an interesting thing for these guys to control. So we're just waiting for everybody to ready up. Hopefully they have remembered they have to hit the ready button. Otherwise they will be dumped back to the pits and will not take part in the race. They've got 35 seconds, whoever hasn't done it, to pick their loadout. Pick their particular setup, which one they're going to run. There's a 20-minute race, so there's no pit strategy required. Until when we get underway, 20 seconds before whoever it is that hasn't hit that ready button will be dumped out, ready or not. We'll find out who it is if they don't hit it. Right, then, ready or not, here we come in 10 seconds time. Aha, whoever it was was a bit slow. Maybe they'd gone to have a quick toilet break or what have you. Let's watch from Jay Daniels. The lights come on, reds and dries, wind them up and let them go. Oh, there's a hesitant. It looked like Jay Daniels had a good initial go, but then the car didn't go anywhere. Oh, look on the outside. Crispin Williamson may well have some company coming in. Oh, turn 1, Jay Daniels bounces off of Toby Owen and is sent off into orbit. Oh my goodness me, already trouble as Jay Daniels comes back onto the track in, oh goodness me, right the way down in 6th, and that is Colin Dunn on the inside of Toby Owen, then struggling to get some traction. If we watch on board with Mark Holmes, just about see Toby Owens on the inside of Abbey, inside of the loop, beg your pardon, and here comes Colin Dunn to retake the position, and here comes Mark Holmes. It could be that Toby, oh, that's someone off. Who is that that's skidded off into the background? It's Scott Thorne! Oh no, Scott Thorne's had trouble, and a damaged car. I wondered if damage was off, actually. That very much would indicate it isn't, or it may well be visual only. So Mr. Garside is now up into 9th, Stephen McDonald right ahead of him. And look at the battle ahead of Jay Daniels. That is Toby Owens. He's down into 5th position. We saw he was struggling a little bit, and then right ahead of him was Ollie Sy, as he comes screaming down the on-start finish straight, heading towards Cops. Crispin's not actually broken away too far. There is Colin Dunn right on the tail. Oh, Colin is getting off. Wow, that's a very wide line. That's actually far easier to do than you think it is, coming through Cops in anything, let alone these cars that love to go sideways. And now Crispin's starting to get into a stride, as I think Colin Dunn made a mistake, as he was half a second behind Williamson. He's now right in the clutch of Mark Holmes. That seems a bit more at home with this particular car than we've seen. He had a horrific run, particularly in the first race at Brands Hatch last week. A flash of the lights. He's found the light switch. He decided to turn the lights on. It's not that dark, so you don't particularly need them on, Mark. Look at this. That's Nick Bailey thinking about a move on the inside of Jay Daniels on the bonnet cam of the 750 MCMX5 Club representative. Around inside move on Jay Daniels, doesn't make it. Is he going to have a dive bomb and fail? No, it's well defended by Jay Daniels there. He saw what was coming and defended the line was going to compromise him through this final chicane as they head towards Club, and that's on his side, wandering a bit too wide. Is that going to give an opportunity for Toby Owens? Not quite. Toby can't quite get past. Well defended by Ollie Sy. A little bit further ahead of them is Colin Dunn and Mark Holmes having their battle for 2nd position. Through they come, having completed the first lap in anger. What a great scrap. Wow. Oh no, that's Nick that's gone. That's one way to try and recover. He stalled it. He stalled the car. He's now going again. Oh my goodness me, McDonald now through into 7th position. You don't necessarily need to be the quickest on the day. Sometimes just keeping out of trouble is what you need to do to get your way through the... Oh no, David Garside! David Garside is struggling to get that one pointed the right way, which I can sympathise with him. It feels horrible trying to recover and the thing just spins way further than you want it to. Like I said earlier, these things are not easy to drive, but Williamson for the 750 MC Clear 182 squad leads the way. 2nd, Colin Dunn for World Sports and Saloon. Oh no, he's got that one all wrong. He's going to be mugged, I think, by Mark Holmes unless he can defend that inside line. I don't know where to look. With Ollie Sy, we'll see that Mark Holmes has got that move done, and Colin Dunn just keeps that one on the road coming out of Woodcote, but only just. Wow, that is he's managed to recover that one before getting into Maccas and Biggers, but Ollie Sy is closing in on them, so that battle for 2nd is going to get a whole lot bigger very, very soon. And look at Colin Dunn though. Oh, a bit of a nudge. I mean, these things can take it. Let's face it, they're touring cars. They're designed for a bit of rubbing. Ooh, someone's brave on the inside of Chapel. Wowee, let's get on the chase camera, and the drone is doing a brilliant job of flying in close proximity. That's Mark Holmes on the right, on the inside, coming towards Stowe. Can Colin Dunn do anything about it? Forces the inside line for Mark Holmes. It's going to compromise his exit. And here comes Colin Dunn. He's got the exit he needs. The exit of dreams coming down towards Vale. He's got the inside line. Mark Holmes knows that one is done, but here comes Ollie Sy. If we get on board with Jay Daniels, he can access our camera car. Oh, Ollie Sy, don't go too wide there. He's going to try and attack Mark Holmes for 3rd position. A wonderful problem to have as a commentator is knowing where to look, and it's difficult to know where to look at the moment. Although everyone else does seem to kind of spread out from their particular battles, we'll keep an eye on this wonderful scrap for currently 3rd position. Currently 2nd position, beg your pardon, that is in the hands of Colin Dunn. Mark Holmes always left the door open, but Ollie Sy can't quite get alongside. Here comes Jay Daniels to get involved in the fight as well. Absolutely amazing stuff. And Ollie Sy on the inside of Mark Holmes barges his way past into third place. And so does Jay Daniels. He's got his way past Mark Holmes as well. But that's how quickly everything can change. Oh, is that Colin Dunn that's in trouble? I think it is. Colin's made a mistake somewhere. He's now got a whole lot. He was beginning to break away, I think. But he's now got a whole lot of company. Mark Holmes on the inside of Jay Daniels coming into Brooklands. Wow, that's not easy to do in these cars. Not too far behind them is Toby Owens. So Toby can kind of get back into stride a bit, maybe pick up the pace a little bit. Easy for me to say. I'm in the commentary box. I'm well aware of this. But he's not too far off the pace of these guys ahead of him. So he really could get involved in this fight. And there's a lot of positions right ahead of him. Ooh, Mark is dicing with death there on the inside of Cops. Picking up a bit of grass. Ollie Sy is gone over to the right-hand side. Does look like Jay Daniels thinking about inside manoeuvre coming into Maggers. You have got to have cojones of steel to do a move like that. But no. Oh, Mark, that's not a great line. Oh, Jay thinking about an inside manoeuvre on the exit of Beckett. He's determined, I'll give him that. Well, that's allowing Colin Dunn a big old amount of breathing space. Heading down to the flash of the lights again from Mark Holmes. Not sure what you're aiming to achieve there, Mark. The distraction technique. Oh, is he going to go for the inside of Stone? No, he looked poised, but not quite ready to do so. Slightly further back. Oh, dear. And again, a flash of the lights from Stephen McDonald. And he's gone for the move on Toby Owens. So that's, oh dear. That's a lot of damage on Toby Owens' car. That's why he's struggling somewhat. Stephen McDonald, rather, has come through into 7th position now. Oh, as I've looked away from him, he's made a mistake, and Toby Owens is back through to 6th. There's nothing to stop him having a fight. I mean, his car may well be damaged, but doesn't stop the fight any more so. Wow, Crispin Williamson, 10 seconds to go. Oh, Mark, how did you get that slowed down? I thought that was a surefire you entering the boot of Jay Daniels' car there. Oh, Mark, that's the tail of that grey car getting very, very quickly on the exit of Aintree. On the exit of the loop, beg your pardon. So Mark's fallen a little bit off the back of that train, but not too far back. You can easily close that down. Jay Daniels still fighting Ollie Sy, coming through Brooklands into left field once again. There you can see the top of the shot is Colin Dunn. So he's gone into a tiny bit of breathing space, but it ain't a lot. It's just shy of a second, as you can see at the time is at the top of the screen. But Crispin Williamson is just gone once again. 12 seconds now to the good. Checking further back, there is Stephen McDonald. He's still fighting actually with Toby Owens. So Toby doing what he can to try and wrestle that damaged BMW. He's hanging on to it pretty well in 6th position. There's Scott Thorne. He's had an argument with something he's had an argument with something very subtly by the look of that. We did see that damage on his car earlier, but I didn't realise it was that bad. And what's the time penalty for Mr. Bailey? 1 second. He's being very cautious with his car. Still looks in pretty good nick. And David Garside, a very lonely race for him. Sadly, he's 22 seconds off the back of Nick Bailey. Let's keep a very firm eye on this. Oh dear, Mark has really fallen off the back of this battle now. 2.6 seconds separates him and this wonderful scrap going on between Ollie Sy and Jay Daniels. Oh, what a lovely slide there from Jay to try and get the traction he needs. Side by side with Ollie Sy as they come into Vale. I wonder how many times that sentence has been said. Side by side with Ollie Sy. No, he can't get well defended there by the number 34 car. Oh, surely there's an opportunity for Jay Daniels. Lovely amount of traction off the penultimate turn through Club. But no, Ollie Sy's not letting it go. There is Colin Dunn capitalising on this and running off into the distance. Whoa, Ollie Sy did not give up on that whatsoever. A great amount of racing room given between the two cars. But there's Mark Holmes in the background. He's going in another no impact between the two. That's Jay Daniels into the wall. Oh no, what a shame that battle has ended like that. Jay Daniels, heavily damaged car. Ollie Sy didn't hit the wall, so he should be able to get running again. Oh, it's Mark Holmes! Mark Holmes has had a sympathy spin in his own. Oh no, struggling to get the car going the right way. oh goodness me, was up into third position, and sadly his own right foot has sent him back down into fifth. And that's Toby Owens has succumbed to Stephen McDonald. Through into sixth then for Stephen, representing the MSVT Track Day Trophy squad. And there, not too far behind, is Scott Thorne for the Club Sport Trophy team. He is gaining on those ahead of him. And now Colin Dunn is clear of defending. He's now 8 seconds to the good from Jay Daniels. He's starting to get into the sub 220s. And no one can touch the blistering pace once again of Crispin Williamson. Our field has now spread out, but anything can happen. Even the mighty Williamson could bin it somewhere. He didn't slide it this time. I was waiting for the slide to kick in there, but he's not doing anything, needless. Because if he has one mistake, if he just overcooks the throttle on one occasion, he could be facing the wrong one, easily lose 10 seconds. We've seen the amount of incidents already with these cars. I was just looking at the time and thinking, this pack's closing up again. Toby Owens doing a brilliant job with that battered BMW. And there behind is Scott Thorne with an even more battered BMW. He's hanging on to the back of Stephen McDonald pretty well, I must say. And we saw that incident with Jay Daniels earlier on. It's going to be interesting to see if Ollie Sy can capitalise on that. I confess I don't know whether it's visual damage or full damage that's going on. So the damage may only just be aesthetic. We'll keep a look on the lap times though. As we have just over 7.5 minutes to go. There's Toby Owen again, looking to keep the pressure as much as he can on Stephen McDonald. He was a second slower last time. Oh no, that's a little bit too wide. He may or may not get away with that. Depends if PCARS 2 tells him to slow down. We'll see how well that transpires. Comes through the loop. Oh no! Stephen McDonald! There we go. What did I say? One mistake is all it takes in these cars, and that's Toby Owen back up into 6th position. Just that one mistake from Stephen McDonald, a little bit too excited on the right foot. Oops! And that's Scott Thorne. Done exactly the same thing, and well, that is the slowest corner on the track, and you're booting it to try and, to get your foot down for one of the longest, if not the longest stretch. The stretch between Chapel and Stowe is slightly longer than that. But you're wanting to get the power down early, and the rear tyres just won't have it. Proximity marker then for Stephen McDonald on the back of Toby Owen. Everyone else is spread out. We'll have a quick check-in with them shortly. Just remind us all where everybody is. In fact, let's go through the field now. There he is. Crispin Williamson. Again, just has that touch. Just be able to throw the car and it go exactly where he wants it to go. And if anyone's ever tried these cars, either virtually or... I would imagine in real life they're just as lively. It's one area of expertise I'm afraid I don't have. Certainly in their virtual form they are... it's easy to ride a horse, I suspect. So Crispin Williamson leads the way by 14.5 seconds-ish from Colin Dunn. Jay Daniels into 3rd position, 3 seconds ahead of Ollie Sy, following on his argument with the wall. 2:22.4 for Jay last time. Let's see what Ollie's time was. A 2:23.7. Mark Holmes is still thereabouts. He's, 9 tenths off of... 9 tenths quicker than Ollie Sy's time that last lap, so could still get involved, but running a bit short on time. And McDonald is back ahead of Toby Owens for 6th place, both in the 26s, in the 2:26s. And well, that I think answers my question whether it's visual or full damage going on. As Scott Thorne has brought his car into the bits, he's had enough of fighting with it. That's going to give Nick Bailey 8th position. And David Garside has got that red and white car ever present. There he is, the race leader, Crispin Williamson, bearing down on him. You see David is very nervous of this car, and I don't blame him at all, because it will kill you at any given moment. It's very easy to forget that when you look at the performance, and again, I mean, no disrespect on the form of Crispin Williamson, because he's done brilliantly in pretty much anything that we've thrown at him in this series. But it's very easy to forget this car is really, really tricky to control. Mark is getting close to Ollie's side. That's a battle for 4th brewing, as well as this battle is still going on. McDonald and Owens. I think Mark has... Oh, yeah, Mark struggled a bit through Magnus and Beckett's. You see the time that's lost him. He was within a second of Ollie's side. He's lost a full second on him just in that one section alone. But Toby Owens doing a great job hanging on to the back of Stephen McDonald. And a great job as well with Stephen McDonald, starting near the back of the field. Joined us rather late in qualifying, and he's right there in the middle of the pack. Nothing wrong with that at all. And Mark's closing back in on Ollie's side again. We've only got a couple of laps left here at Silverstone. Ooh, wow, and that's how quickly these things can let go. Not that we needed a reminder of it, as Ollie's side's got himself a 3-second penalty. So he's gone off the road somewhere, and the game has felt he's not given enough time back. Oh, now is Stephen McDonald going to be close? Yeah, there's Mark Holmes, essentially being caught by this duo of Stephen McDonald and Toby Owens. Looks like Mark Holmes' day is not concluded yet. Oh, yeah, that's how hard Toby Owens is pushing. He's using every available inch of track. Oh, even Crispin Williamson has made a mistake somewhere. Look at that, 2:24. He lost 4 seconds. I mean, okay, he's got a lot of time to lose. Oh dear, Colin Dunn's made a mistake. Colin Dunn has made a huge mistake over in Luffield. That right behind him is actually David Garside, so he's not under immediate pressure. There is Jay Daniels in 3rd position, but an opportunity. That must be so frustrating, because he'll see the time has begun to come down between himself and Crispin Williamson. They can see the gap to... If you're in the top 3, you can see your gap between yourself and those around you, but that must be so frustrating for Colin Dunn. Prime opportunity to gain a big handful of seconds on the leader, and sadly the traction has let go on him. Oh, that's Ollie Sai being... he's gone past David Garston. Garside, beg your pardon. But he's really dropped Mark Holmes. Look at that, 8 seconds now to the goods. McDonald was gaining on it, and look at that. The gap now 1.7 between McDonald and Owens. Toby fought valiantly to wrestle that car into a position, but starting the final lap is this man. Another comparatively slow lap for Crispin Williamson, 2:25. Bear in mind his best is something at 2:17. Well, it is indeed 2:17. 2:71 his best, so some way off of that. And now the sun's beginning to come out. Not that's going to help our drivers at all in this final lap. And once again... Oh, Jay Daniels has made a mistake! That's down at Vale! Through Vale and Club, and through into 3rd position is Ollie Sai! Oh no, Jay Daniels! He's been in the podium all race long, and suddenly he's now down into 4th. And now, oh no, that's Nick Bailey. That's Nick Bailey's had a mistake. That's down at Cops. Oh no, it's kicking off in this final lap. It's not all done. Jay Daniels is doing what he can, but bear in mind his car is damaged. He wants to get back on that podium, but Ollie's side, famous quote, just needs to keep it on the black stuff. I think this car has proven how difficult that is in the hands of our drivers. Just about to see the 4 cars there, 3rd to 6th position. in that particular shot. There is Colin Dunn. Oh, wow. Crispin Williamson still getting that tail wagging. I mean, he leads by 17 seconds. Why not, I suppose? And once again, can anything stop this man? A reverse grid might. The second race is a reverse grid race. So Crispin will be starting from the back yet again. It hasn't stopped him yet, admittedly. But these cars are a handful. And even the mighty Williamson has made a couple of mistakes in the tail end of this race. But still wins pretty comfortably. Ooh, as I say that, unless he's going to park it around here. Of course he's not going to. Your winner here at the first race of Silverstone in the BMWs is Crispin Williamson. Is he going to throw it into the wall? No, he has a bit of a wiggle to himself. Second position is going to go to the Welsh Sports and Saloon driver of Colin Dunn. Very nicely done. I'd avoided doing that. I avoided that particular phrase. Apologies there, Colin. He's going to take second and the last podium spot. Very nicely done. Ollie Sy for the 750 MC Masters. That's going to come over the line. Jay Daniels. Oh, what a shame for Jay. For the 750 MC Clear 182 squad. Fourth position, Mark Holmes. A solid fifth place. Oh, don't throw it away now. Stephen McDonald. Starting at the back of the field with less qualifying time than everybody else. Comes over the line sixth. He looks happy about that. Oh, Toby Owens did what he could with the damage he incurred early on. Oh no, Scott Thorne. That's down at Cops again. Through into eighth, or back into eighth, is Nick Bailey. I think it's fair to say he struggled somewhat with this car. Scott Thorne. I think he'll be. He may well be happy when these pair of races are done. And David Garside was a lap down. He's already his race is already complete. Those are our two remaining runners of Nick Bailey and Scott Thorne. Oh goodness me! He's nowhere near the top end of the. You'd normally be screaming the engine by the end of the hangar straight, but yeah, Scott is taking his time with this car just to bring it home. Oh no! Nick Bailey coming out of Vale. Oh no! Oh, he cut to the wrong camera. Scott Thorne on the inside barges his way past. And he's going to claim eighth in the last two turns. Oh no, that's into the wall for Nick Bailey. And a big wiggle there. Oh, we didn't even see where Scott Thorne went. And backwards over the line for Nick Bailey. Why not? And a closed garage door to finish with. Oh my goodness. But there it is. Confirmation of the results then. Crispin Williamson once again at the top of the tree. Then Colin Dunn, Ollie Sy, Jay Daniels, Mark Holmes, Stephen McDonald, Toby Owen, Scott Thorne, Nick Bailey and David Garside. Oh, goodness me. Your podium three, fastest lap, of course, was with Mr. Williamson. That's which teams have had how many points. Again, not every team, but some teams have more than one driver in them. For instance, there's two in the 750 Clio 182 team. So that's how many points have gone where in this race. Championship, 100 points for Crispin Williamson. It's actually 4 wins for 4 podiums. Again, that count is incorrect. But 59, the points are correct. The wins and podiums count is not. Ollie Sy still in second position. A decent haul of points for him today. McDonald 3, Jay Daniels 4, Mark Holmes 5, Nick Bailey 6, Toby Owen 7, Colin Dunn 8. So we don't have Gary Kibbe with us or Matt Charrington. Scott Thorne in 11th place on 14. Matt Rivet is not with us. And David Garside is struggling a bit, but still plenty of time for him to improve. Right. A small break of a few minutes whilst the next lobby is set up. Like you say, it's a reverse grid, so the grid has to be formed manually. There is no function to do that automatically within Project CARS 2, sadly. But we work with the tools that we have got. So do not go anywhere, as I have no doubt that the second race is going to be quite interesting, I think, is the politically correct way of putting it. It's going to be quite chaotic, I dare say. Don't go anywhere, because the second race will be with us very, very shortly. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this second round here at Silverstone for the Club Racing Inter-Club Championship. Right, it is time for the manual grid to be formed. Oh dear, that looks like a problem for Mr. Garside. I think that is in the back bouncing around. Oh dear, that's trouble for David Garside. That's a shame, he's supposed to be a pole man. Oh dear, we may well have lost one already. That'll be a shame, but we know this man will be at the back. So what's happening here is the field is rolling on. Yep, there goes David Garside. That's a shame. At least my race feed box will work this time. So the field will move slowly forward as names are being called out between the drivers on Discord. As Crispin is really giving it the beans to try and warm up the tyres. So Scott Thorne has now taken up the pole spot. Sadly, David Garside has had a technical trouble on the line and is now gone. So 9 drivers will take the rolling start in this second round. Just sort the windows out once again. I fully expect this race to be just as action-packed as the last one. So Scott Thorne and Nick Bailey will take the front of this particular pack. There is Toby Owens, Stephen McDonald right behind him, Mark Holmes, 5th Jay Daniels will take the 6th position spot, Ollie Sy 7, got it done in 8th position, and of course Crispin Williamson at the tail of the field. So they're going to continue round. They're not at full racing speed, they're kind of just getting everything warmed up, making sure the field doesn't spread out too much. Let's see how they're going, but turn the speedo on, there we go. Oops, this is a problem with the rolling grid, is you can, unless these guys are used to it, which if you're used to standing starts, it's not always, it was easy to take your finger off the pulse a little bit, because in racing terms you expect someone to be absolutely flat out coming through this section, heading towards, coming through cops, coming through maggots and into Beckett's. You don't expect people to kind of suddenly warm their brakes by slamming on the anchors. So you can kind of, mistakes are not as uncommon as you think. Oh, Ollie Sy is really eager to get on with it. He's really eager to get on with it. Now, has he had some damage, which would explain why he's floored it? The car looks alright. I'm expecting Ollie Sy to go into the pits. He's had a problem of some description. He should be peeling in now. Yep, in he comes. Not sure what that trouble is, because the car looks alright. Oh well, a pit stop already for Ollie Sy. Now, these guys are going to be coming through the last section of the circuit, through Vale, through turn 17, and then into Club. It's going to be up to Scott Thorne to floor it when he gets close to the line, so they're going to be at crawling pace now. Yeah, there you go. Pit lane speed. Can't say it. Pit lane speed limiter speed is what they're going to be at now. And when Scott Thorne feels like it, he's going to absolutely floor it now. I imagine. Yeah, Ollie is going to wait at the end of the pit lane somewhere. Okay, no, he's come off the end of the pit lane. He's going to wait. But of course he can't stay stationary for too long because the game would disqualify him. And away we go! We are racing for the second time here at Silverstone. Ollie Sy is in a terrible place. Oh, there he is. Whoa, Jay Daniels! What a send! My goodness me, that was a hell of a... Oh, sorry, it was Nick Bailey that was doing the send. As Toby Owens has spun. He's down to the tail end of the field. Colin Dunn is... Ollie Sy now has let the field past him, as is correct. And on he goes. Crispin Williamson is already back up to the front. Oh no, big problem. Oh, huge impact there. That was Ollie Sy that's been slammed into the wall. Oh no, who hit him? Was it Nick Bailey? Oh my days, look at the state of Ollie's car as he's shedding the bumper across the road. Oh my goodness me, massive impact. Was it Nick Bailey's car that hit him? Nick Bailey's car looks fine. Oh dear, Ollie Sy. Well, Crispin's already back in mid of the lead, but look at Scott Thorne got all the company from Jay Daniels. as they scream on down towards Cops once again. Jay's got the inside line, but Scott has got the momentum. Nicely done. On board with Colin Dunn as Jay's gone off the road. Oh my goodness, all the cars squiggling around everywhere. How did we get on board with Mark Holmes? Oh, as they're screaming and fighting for position coming into Maggots. They have managed to do so though without major incident. 5 seconds behind this lot is Toby Owen. We've seen him have a spin already down at the loop. That's also part of the challenge of the rolling starts. The tyres tend to be very, very cold. On the bumper cam of Mark Holmes, we can see side by side is Colin Dunn and Jay Daniels coming into Stowe, and also Mark's making a move on Scott Thorne, bang, and punch in the face from the 33 car, or to the 33 car I should say. That's going to allow, there goes Toby Owens through into 6th position. Mark Holmes now up into 4th. Colin Dunn right ahead of him. Keep that tail under control, Holmes. Colin Dunn on the back of Jay Daniels. Crispin Williamson already 4 seconds to the good up front. I'm expecting Ollie Sider to bring his car in. No such trouble though for Colin on the back of Jay. So swing through Abbey, through Farm and into the village. And Ollie Sy and Stephen McDonald. It was Stephen McDonald. It was Stephen McDonald's car that slammed into the side of Ollie Sy. Ooh, steady with the right foot, gentlemen. Nick Bailey is catching Scott Thorne with that incident. Scott wouldn't have picked up too much damage from it. And Toby Owen is very much on his own. There he is at the top of the shot. Right at the bottom of the shot is Jay Daniel and Colin Dunn. Into Brooklets. Sideways as usual. Through Bluffett. Careful, pick your timing, and bang! Foot down through Woodcote, heading towards Cops. Jay Daniels has had a pretty good exit from there. There is Nick Bailey and Scott Thorne having their equally enticing scrap for 6th position. And McDonald and Sy are going to be in the pits for a while, I suspect, particularly Ollie Sy. He'll be there for quite some time, which is a shame indeed. And Nick keeping the pressure on Scott. Oh, lovely slide from Nick Bailey. Always the quickest way of doing these, but in these cars it really is. They're very much tuned to have that kind of four-wheel drift going on. There is Crispin Williamson. I nearly did it again. I said Crispin Thomas. He's my boss. Who did used to do some amateur level, club level racing, I believe. Stephen McDonald is back on track. He is a lap down. I would have thought. Yeah, he's a lap down. A huge shame. A lot of the damage you'll see on his car and on Ollie Sy's car is visual, because they've repaired the important bits, but not necessarily the body panels. It looks battered, but it will still perform as if new. Fastest sector 3, Crispin Williamson, unsurprisingly. It's a little bit of a gap forming between Jay Daniels and Colin Dunn now. Whoa, Colin's really struggling to keep that tail under control. Does manage to do so. Ooh, that was a bit awkward coming through village. Mark Holmes not too far off the back of him. Oh, you can just tell by their interest they want to get the power down, but the traction just isn't there on the top of Scott Thorne's car, who's taking a bit of liberties with the track limits. He's trying to gain on Nick Bailey. You can just tell by the way that Scott is just keeping very, very tight lines, keeping the slides to an absolute minimum. He's not very comfortable with the car, but doing his best in it nonetheless. Top of the shot, you can just see, I think that is indeed Stephen McDonald's car, 5.5 seconds ahead of Ollie Sy. They're well condensed before the day is done. Jay Daniels doing a good job of just keeping. Yeah, he's gained opened up another second between himself and his pursuer of Colin Dunn. And Mark Holmes has fallen a little bit off the back of them, but nothing too bad. I'm also keeping an eye on Toby Owens because his lap times are, equivalent to Colin Dunn. So he gained about 1.5 seconds on Mark Holmes last time around. Only 3.5 between them. We didn't see the best of Toby Owens in the previous race. There you go. That's just how he's handling that four-wheel drift brilliantly well through Maggers and Beckett. It was so nicely done. A little bit wriggly coming out of Chapel. Down the Hanger Straight. Oh, now the Colin Dunn's actually closing back in on Jay Daniels. Oh, that's Crispin Williamson. Oh my goodness me, what did I say? Even he's not immune to mistakes. So he has made a huge mistake down at Vale. Well. Suddenly, the top three are, there they are. They are 3 seconds apart. Well, if Williamson does that again, he's going to have a whole load of company. He has the fastest sectors, 1, 2, 3. As you can see in the bottom of the screen there, the race feed box working this time. Well, Williamson may well have some more work to do today. That's what he's done, you see. He's sort of parked and looked backwards just to give everyone else a chance. How sporting of him. On board with Colin Dunn. Look at the lap times at the top left of your screen. 2:19.6 and 2:19.9 between Jay Daniels, goodness me, I apologise for getting the names wrong, and Colin Dunn. You can just see the angle of the that's how much opposite log he's putting on before he's even got out of Luffield. Goodness me. Actually, look, what was it like? I think he's on a control pad, by the way that the way he's handling, by the way the steering angle's moving, it looks like he's on the control pad. If he's able to maintain that pace on the control pad, that's amazing work from Colin Dunn. Oops, tail gets a little bit lively on the exit of Woodcote, or the exit of Copse rather. But I did say this gap was getting down pretty quick. Toby Owens has caught the back of Mark Holmes. Mark was at 2:22.1 last time, a 2:20.6 from Toby. So that's where that gap has just disintegrated. Mark has done all right with this car, but has not come to terms with it as well as others around him. And we get on the roof cam of Toby Owens on the back of Mark Holmes. Mark around the middle of the road now, up to the racing line. Is Owens going to go for the inside line, coming into Luffield, into Stowe? Oh, not quite. Well driven by both of them. Scott's moved up to 6th. Nick Bailey has made a mistake. And down there at Chapel. And through into 6th position goes Scott Thorne. And Ollie Side's actually catching the back of Stephen McDonald as well. In a minute we'll see the black car of Ollie Side. There he is. So he's gaining on Stephen McDonald. There's a battle to be had there. And look at this! He's done it again! Williamson's made a mistake! Crispin Williamson has made another mistake! He's just set the fastest lap of the race with the 2:17.9 and then binned it! Oh my days! Well, now this is going to be interesting because they get a pair of 2:18s from Jay Daniels and Colin Dunn. Again, Colin just fractionally faster. Oh, that's Mark Holmes in the background! Oh, huge incident from Mark Holmes! Slams into the wall. Too eager on the right foot, and still too eager on the right foot. Nice pirouette. I'll give that an 8 out of 10. A huge amount of damage to the front of his car, though. Oh, that's going to make Mark Holmes' day much more difficult. Look at this. So Williamson now has 2.3 seconds to close down to the battle of the lead. The lead he's pretty much had all to himself all night long. Oh, how Toby Owens wishes he was in this. He's 7 seconds behind Williamson. And there we go. Now we can see the proxy marker on Ollie Side's car. He's within a second or near enough between himself and McDonald. They're at the back of the lead battle, you can see at the top of the shot. So they're not a lap down. I thought they were a lap down actually earlier when they came out of the pits. I haven't been lapped yet. And at that rate, they may not necessarily do so. Oh, look at this. That's getting close. We get on the roof camera. Ah, Williamson's too far back. I didn't think I would say that sort of thing. But Colin Dunn is right there. Right there and raring to go. Oh, this is fantastic. It's not just fantastic because Williamson's not leading. And again, no disrespect, but I am a bit of an underdog fan. Oh, McDonald's made a mistake somewhere. Ali Side's gone through. You can see on the lap times 5 seconds difference between the two cars. McDonald has sadly now been demoted into the wooden spoon position. Also another one to keep an eye on is Scott Thorne off the back of Mark Holmes following Mark's big incident on the inside of the loop. Or coming out of Aintree a little more accurately. Ooh, keep that one under control, Mark. He's struggling, really struggling to keep that car under control. Scott Thorne sweeps round the outside, very nicely done. That's not as wide as you might think. Coming through that final turn, coming out of club is a bit narrow. And wow, Mark's car does not want to behave so whatsoever. That bumper is hanging off all over the place. And here we go, the top three, 1.5 seconds apart. So Toby Owens 9 seconds behind the battle. Oh, Colin Dunn absolutely pushing like a madman to try and keep Williamson behind, but also just to get any traction out of that car. Absolutely incredible. We'll stay on board with Williamson for now as they come through Cops. Oh, Dunn's gone wide. This could easily give Williamson an opportunity. He's got enough pace, but has he got enough room? No, I think he's going to back off yet. He didn't quite have enough space to make the move. Coming into Mackers and Beckett's. It is possible, but you need more overspeed than that. Now you see the line difference. Williamson went for he stuck tighter to the middle part of Beckett to try and get a faster line out in that second apex and then through Chapel. Whereas both Colin and Jay, Colin has left it all wide open and through into second goes Williamson, but Colin's still there and he's had to concede the position. Now a mistake there from Colin, unless Colin had no intention of fighting Crispin Williamson. He's perfectly entitled to do that. Is for position. Colin's car just looks absolutely lively. Now it's all on Jay. A 2:16.9. That's the first sub 2:17 we've seen. And of course it is Crispin Williamson. Oh, look at that. Sliding on the exit of Farm. Can he get the move done into Village? Outside for Village. He wants the inside line for the loop. And he's managed to get it done. Oh my goodness. Crispin Williamson for the 750 MC Clear 182 crew. What a series of corners. Absolutely amazing stuff in the cockpit of Colin Dunn. He's basically just seeing Crispin Williamson dance around them. But as has been proven twice in this race already, he's done it again! I was just about to say he's not immune to a mistake and he's been smashed into the side. Jay have really had nowhere to go. Crispin overcooked that one and he's straight back on the job. We saw him fly up in the air at quite a bit of damage to certainly the bodywork, but he may have kind of got away with the crucial bits not being damaged. The engine bay doesn't seem to have any damage on. A dent in the door is not going to do too much to the performance of these cars, but it's what damage Jay Daniels has on him that's going to be the real question. It's difficult to judge from the outside. It looks all right, but it doesn't help that they've got a back mark ahead of them. That's going to be Stephen McDonald. There he is. There's Ollie Side at the bottom of the shot. I appreciate we're not looking in the midfield too much. The midfield have all spread out. Whereas here, Colin Dunn has a real opportunity to take the lead here. And he's going for it. He's going to go for the inside line coming into Stowe. And he's got it. Colin Dunn for the Welsh Sports and Saloon squad up into the lead of the race. Crispin Williamson's going to have some more, a hell of a lot more work to do now because he's only got 5 minutes to close in, 3 and a bit seconds. If anybody can, it's certainly he, but even for him, that's going to be quite some work. That's only about 3 laps. Oh, Jay Daniels. Now, his car less behaving. Let's see the lap times as they come over the line. 2:20, 2:22. Okay, Crispin's going to be considerably more than that, 2:25. Now, Stephen McDonald will be obliged to get out of the way. Although he's not really close enough to impede this particular battle at the moment. My goodness. And look at that, 20.4. The quickest of the top 4 was actually Toby Owen. Toby Owens. I'm dropping the S of his name. Goodness me. Again, how he would have loved to have been involved in this top fight, I have no doubt. Oh, now this is interesting. On the bonnet cam of Jay Daniels, right ahead of him is, of course, Colin Dunn. Oh, right ahead of them is Stephen McDonald. Oh, what a bad time to be caught. Right in the middle of Luffield. Oh, well, that's one way to get out of the way, Stephen. You don't need to do it quite like that. Oh, Crispin's made another mistake. That's again at Brooklands. I suspect he's cooked his tyres too much. With all the sliding he's putting into them, there right behind him is Toby Owens. Oh, how he would love to overtake the mighty Williamson. Oh, anybody would love to overtake the mighty Williamson. That's very wide there, Toby. Wow, goodness me, how this race has changed in the blink of an eye. I did say it would take a reverse. Oh, Jay Daniels! I did say it would take a reverse grid race to topple the mighty Crispin, and it has done. Ollie Sight, his name on the penalty board, 1 second penalty for him. It won't make an awful lot of difference the way he is, sadly. He's not far up the road from where these two are. But that one mistake from Jay Daniels has just given Colin Dunn a little bit more breathing space, and now a seconds gap near enough between the two. And that huge mistake from Crispin, who I suspect has just boiled his tyres to death now. Which means he's going to have to really back off. Which could also mean Toby Owens really gets involved in a scrap for the last podium position. Crispin Williamson has he done it again? He's done it again! That's at Vale this time and through into 3rd. Although possibly not for long. It's Toby Owens, but look how squiggly Crispin's car is. He's really struggling to get the power down. That's not him showboating. That's because his tyres are boiled. His tyres have badly overheated. Not that that's affecting how he's driving, admittedly. He's still keeping it absolutely flat out. And now he's going to have to keep Toby Owens behind him. Looks like the battle for the lead has dismantled at the moment. Jay, I suspect with the damage to his car from that impact with Crispin Williamson a couple of laps ago, has just killed the edge he's needed to keep up with Colin Dunn. But look at this. This is absolutely fantastic. Crispin Williamson still got the pace in the car, clearly. But this has been his Achilles heel this race, his Brooklands. Vale has been a problem, and he's deep at Luffield. He's kept it on the straight and narrow though. Where is Colin? I'd say it's a minute 10 left before the checkered flag falls. Into Meggers and Beckett's once again. Now 2.6 seconds separates himself from Jay Daniels. Jay may well have opted just to bring the car home now. A little bit squiggly on the exit of that turn for Colin Dunn. Wow, again Crispin looks like he's quite wide. Again, that could just be the line he's choosing to take to try and maximise his exit from that previous apex here through Chapel and onto the Hangar Straight. It could be just a choice from Crispin, but I suspect some of it is that's the line he's been forced onto because his tyres just will not behave themselves anymore. To Stowe. Did Colin cross the line where he will do? That car doesn't look like it wants to behave either. He'll cross the line with 10 seconds to spare. One more lap here at Silverstone. What a crazy race it's been. Oh no, there's another incident with Crispin. He's had another problem at Vale again. Oh my goodness, and this time it's caught Toby Owens by surprise. We saw him going slowly and Crispin pointing to the sky. Well, that would indicate a big old whack in the side of the car again, but that car does not want to steer straight. Well, the crack in the windscreen is going to be the last of Crispin Williamson's problems. Oh, yeah, there he goes again. Oh, my days. The damage to that car is colossal. The car is now just not wanting to stay straight. Absolutely unbelievable. Scott Thorne a little bit too far back to get himself involved in that fight, but Colin Dunn has done exactly what he needs to do. I did it again. I'm so sorry, Colin. I'm doing my best not to use that button. That was completely by accident. Oh, absolutely incredible. For the final time then, through Cops. Down towards Mackens and Beckett's for Colin Dunn. Jay Daniels in hot pursuit. There he is. That gap steadily increasing. Sweeping through Mackens and Beckett's for the final time. Toby Owens. Oh, goodness me. Now 10 seconds ahead of Crispin Williamson. How the mighty have fallen was the phrase that entered my head. That's a little bit extreme. Ollie Sai getting out of the way. He'll probably be quite glad not to have to do another lap with the way his race has gone. Through Stowe. Down to Vale for the final time. Very easy to bin it. Jay Daniels is close enough to capitalise on a mistake, but no such luck. Your winner here at Silverstone for the second race is the Welsh Sports and Saloon driver of Colin Dunn. Brilliantly done there. I did it again, I'm so sorry. Jay Daniels takes second position for the 750MC Clear 182 squad, and it does look like third place is going to go to Toby Owens. The BRSCC MX5 Championship. Considering the race he's had, that is a great effort. Well done, Toby Owens. Crispin wonders. He's had another problem at Vale. That car not only doesn't want to steer straight, but the tyres are burning hot. He'll be happy to throw that one into the compactor. Crispin Williamson comes home fourth, which is still a strong result. Absolutely it is, but considering how much he has dominated this racing series so far, that is a shocker for Mr. Williamson. Scott Thorne. Steady rate, that's an unusual line to take out of Stowe. Down towards Vale. Slowly but surely working his way through. Car looks in pretty mint condition, so he hasn't hit anything. And again, it is... If someone like Crispin Williamson can struggle with these cars, that just goes to show you how hard they are. Mark Holmes is showing strong form in the beginning part of the race, but sadly, an argument at the wall down at Aintree. That's also following Scott's line there, coming out of Stowe. Continuing on his merry way. Oh, well caught. Well caught, Mr. Holmes. And through to take sixth position. He's the organiser of this tournament, certainly for the PC side. And there is... Oh, no. That's not going to hold. No, Mr. Bailey, that's not going to hold. And he stalled it. Sorry, Nick, you're the last one to look at because Ollie Sai and Stephen McDonald have already crossed the line, being a lap down. Well, I could look at them, but they're not going anywhere. They're just doing that. I think Nick's just having some fun now. You can't go to the line directly, I'm afraid. He was never going to make it before the time it ticked down. So the second race goes like so. Colin Dunn takes the win. Very excellent effort there. Jay Daniels second. Toby Owens third. Crispin Williamson still with the fastest lap with a 2:16.9. in 4th, Scott Thorne 5, Mark Holmes 6th, Nick in 7th, Ollie Sy 8th, and Stephen McDonald in 9th. Sadly, we lost David Garside due to a technical trouble at the beginning of the race. Just catching my breath now. The confirmation there is your podium 3. So the points wise, of course, Mr. Williamson still at the top of the tree. Ollie's side now really close with Jay Daniels with that amazing podium for Jay. Just 3 points behind Ollie. Mark Holmes in 4th. Colin Dunn now jumps up with that win into 5th position. Steve McDonald 6th. Toby Owen 7th. Nick Bailey in 8th position. Scott Thorne in 9th. And those that were not with us, well, David Garside was, but sadly, as I said, had that technical trouble at the beginning of the race. And that is going to conclude this evening's festivities. Thank you very much for being with us throughout the stream. A great pleasure to have you on board. Thank you very much, Club Racing UK, for allowing me to commentate on your PC lobby. It's been amazing fun and some incredible races. Do join us next week for the next rounds that come along, which are going to be... Let me just bring up the info. So I know where. We don't know the car. As a reminder, we never know what car is being raced until the lobby is opened. So, I can't tell you what the car is going to be. I can tell you what the cars have been up until this point, but certainly not what is ahead of us. It's Alton Park next week. So do join us for rounds 7 and 8, as it is going to be... Well, I say this every week, but I think the racing tonight has proven it is something... very, very special, and I'm very honoured to be part of it. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you next week. Thank you very much, and good night!